Good evening and welcome to another edition of Fightnwords and the Fightnwords News Network. Fightnwords is brought to you each and every night of the week in grateful appreciation to men and women of the United States Armed Forces, the men and, men and women police and fire services, the doctors and nurses and first responders, the COVID, and also the wonderful people in the supermarkets that keep the shelves stocked. Tonight's program is dedicated to a gentleman who was a excellent son, fantastic father, and a super deputy. Last week, the 20th was his birthday, and we honored the 15th year that we lost Bob Carroll. Everybody knows Bob and Adam Jacob and Aaron Jacob started this program in 2004. And the boys got pretty busy in their gym, so I joined Bobby in 2005, and we've been going ever since. And it was guys like you, Z, stepping in when we needed you, and Tony that keep this program going. So this program is done in memory of him. So, okay, Z, you're on the spot. Alexander Usyk says he's vacating his belts. What's going on?
Yeah, he says he's vacating his belts because he wants to actually move the division forward. Looking at and make his own fights instead of having to do a lot of mandatories. He holds 3 belts, or he held 3 belts, so he's relinquished all 3 of them. And I know Caballero, I don't know which belt it is, but they rewarded him one of the belts. But yeah, as far as that goes, he said, he's on his final, kind of chapter with this, and he wants to determine his own fights instead of having to do, the mandatories. And to be honest, I think they're hard targeting Deontay Wilder. Just because he's the only guy of that era that he has to face. So he's looking at that.
Okay. And what do you think, Tony?
I'd never go against Z on that stuff. He knows exactly what's talking about. I totally agree with him.
Good. All right, let's go to the big one of the week. Last night, Boots Ennis just beat the living snot out of Zayas. Z, what was your thoughts on that one?
Offensively, Boots looked good. He looked good offensively. His hands looked fast, and he looked sharp. He looked sharp and worked his meaningful punches in. That's what I liked. He worked his meaningful punches. He used his uppercut, hooks, straights, set things up with his jab, and he never really let. Well, I can't say that, but when Boots was going, Xander had a problem dealing with Boots' offense, and that was. He really just overwhelmed them to do it good. So, but yeah, I'm going to give credit where credit is due. He offensively kind of stormed over him. Yeah. And Boots is tough. He is a tough guy. With that said, I think he's too tough. He's too tough for his own good. And I'm gonna. I was texting Ty. He's busy.
Right.
But I was texting him about it, and he said that Boots.
Okay, bring you right
in the pro fight. And that is very true to a degree. It looks like he's used to overwhelming guys, and which apparently is working for him. But he to me, he gets hit too clean. And understand, Xander Zayas is a high quality guy, but for all of his offensive gifts, Boots is a little lackluster on defense to me. And there were some shots that Xander hit him with that he just kind of looked into his face. He didn't react, didn't really care. And one of them went through his body. You could see it kind of reverberate through his body, but he held tough and kept doing what he had to do. The thing is this, though. You're going to meet some guys who are going to be cleaner and hit harder. And a fight I would love to see is Boots Ennis against Fandor. That right now I think will be the most exciting fight in the division. Boots against Virgil Ortiz will also be exciting, but I mean, I have to give him credit for, last night's fight. He did an excellent job offensively and did what he was supposed to do against a quality opponent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he dropped him 3 times before they finally ended the fight in the 7th. He looked very strong. I was wondering when he went in there, since all this layoff, when all this playing around with who was going to fight and not going to fight, I was wondering how he was going to come out. But boy, he came out on top on that one. And just so everybody know, we were joined by the illustrious and lovely Mr. Brady now.
Hello. Glad to be here.
How you doing, Brady?
Well, how are y'all doing tonight?
Good.
Good to have you on.
All right, Mr. Brady, Ilya Tapora, and Justin Gaethje. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think we were all stunned by that result. I think for those who didn't watch the fight, Tapora got beat, very unexpectedly. But I think in the first round, Tapora got his eye, it wasn't really a poke, but he got hit. It looked like it was in more towards the inside of his eye, and I don't think he could see it all through his right eye. So, I think we all saw Gaethje getting beat pretty bad, probably by knockout, and then when he comes out, and I'm not going to take anything away from Gaethje's performance because he, fought on pretty much a perfect fight. I think, I think he controlled his distance really well, and I think also Tapora with the eye issue, and then later his other eye. That's essentially why the fight stopped, is because his corner stopped it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think anybody expected Gaethje to come out and fight like that. But
right.
I think they got to have a rematch. And I think that Gaethje's power, we really realized there. And everybody in that lightweight division has been saying it the whole time. Most of the time, Justin Gaethje's been in, at least contending that he's the hardest hitter. And I think, Tapora found out. I'm not going to, diss Tapora's preparation or anything like that, but I don't think anybody was really expecting Justin to come out there and fight like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I respect it. I wanted him, to win. Really, he's an American, but it was nice to see that at the White House as well.
Mm-hmm. What do you think, Z?
It looked like Justin Gaethje went to the school of Sean Strickland because the jab seemed to me everything to me. And it looked like Tapora, he won the jab, and it looked like the range. He just kind of just distance better than Tapora. Tapora seemed to throw the right punches in the wrong range. And always seemed never to avoid the jab. And that, it just seemed to kind of control him. He didn't really get hesitant. And that's what kind of, I think, got him cut up a bit. And that, he didn't really, it was just a stand-up fight for the most part. And it looked like, as I said, it looked like he went to the school of Sean Strickland and avoided for the most part just a jab. And to break him down. And just break Tapora's face down. So I have to give credit to Tapora, tried his best. And that he went out on the shield. But, it seemed the game plan was just, don't let him get in his distance. And Justin had to survive some things, too. Tapora did get his, some of his shots off. But at the same time, just for the most part, he just, kept walking in a stiff left, just a stiff left. And at the end of the day, it's the 4 ounce gloves, and Gaethje is, as Brady said, a heavy-handed guy. So you just can't keep eating that, and your body stand up to that. But all credit to both fighters.
Okay.
If I could add one more
thing
about that I noticed was I've never seen. Usually it's Tapora you don't want to get into those close quarters with, but this time Tapora was getting punished for coming in, and trying to fight dirty with Justin.
Okay. All right, Tony. Andy Cruz and Albert Bell have been ordered by the IBF to review it. What's going on?
I didn't hear it cut out. I'm sorry.
Andy Cruz and Albert Bell. They've been ordered by the IBF to fight again.
Wow, I didn't know it was ordered. I heard something about it, but I didn't know that was going on. So that'll be interesting to see what happens. I'd like to know the reason why.
Yeah. You got anything on that, Z?
No. I thought Robert Bell was lined up to fight. I forget who, with somebody else, a bigger name. But I didn't hear anything on that.
Yeah, this came out in Boxing 24 Monday afternoon, and I didn't have a whole lot of time to research it. But all right, let's go. Brady, Mauricio Ruffy, and Michael Chandler.
Yes, I think this one was a setup against Chandler in the sense that he wasn't meant to win this fight. You put a 40-year-old guy in there who, obviously, he's got tons of experience and he was a champion in Bellator, but Ruffy's a killer, man, and a contender. And honestly, I didn't like seeing the fight Chandler. I'm not going to say he didn't give it his all and go out there and put up a fight, for himself, but it wasn't a good fight in terms of, the viewer, because it was just Chandler. He was getting beat up on, man, bad, and it wasn't a fair match. And I think that, for me, it was kind of, obviously, Michael Chandler's, the All-American guy. Mm-hmm. And for that White House card, he is, the one to choose. But I think in this situation, you pick someone more on his kind of level, as he's kind of phasing his way out of the UFC, I think. And I think either you give Rufi an opponent that he can actually, is on his level, or vice versa with Chandler. But Chandler got beat bad, and he was kind of he was running most of this fight. I don't think Rufi's power in the striking were, very good. But and then again, Chandler, I'm not going to diss his cardio or anything, but I think it was more of the hits that he took that he couldn't keep up, because he got rocked and stunned multiple times. I thought it was over, and he kept going, which I respect him for, but in the end, obviously, did not end well for him.
What do you think, Z?
Question for
go ahead, Tony.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Actually, it's not related. I'll wait till he's done.
No, go ahead. Ask your question.
I was just curious. I didn't interrupt. I was just curious about the UFC fighter that was at the airport that got arrested. Was that Chandler? Oh, that was Dustin Poirier.
Poirier.
Oh, Poirier. Okay. He looked like a fool. He was making a fool of himself, man. I don't know what his problem was, but it didn't. He wasn't setting. He was drunk, man. He was drunk.
Yeah. Wow. So you got anything on that one?
Well, as far as Dustin Poirier, it's not good to be drunk and have electricity going through your body. You almost got hit. But other than that, all prayers out to him, and hope everything goes well.
Right.
But as far as Michael, sorry, go ahead. Oh, yeah.
I'm going to blame that cop for tasing him, honestly. Dustin Poirier, man.
Exactly.
Right.
He almost got tased. But as far as Michael Chandler goes, kind of reminds me of they did. Sometimes, these guys do go out there and put it their all, and they're known for the action pack. It's sad to see, because it becomes eventually a time that you can't do it anymore, and you're still seen by millions of people getting it done to you. And that has an effect on your brain, and it has an effect on your overall livelihood. So, as I say, I think, maybe it is time to put it up and try to find another way to entertain.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're both very, very correct with that. They did have to subdue him, and he is a fighter, so that's it. But Tony, you and I both know that even guys that are alcohol free have problems after they've been tased.
I know I did.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't even shoot me with the prongs. They taped it to my ankle into my knee or something like that, and I dropped. I mean, there's no feeling in the world like that. If you think electric shocks are bad, that electric shock feeling is about 100.
Bobby said he saw his whole life go before him at this in 30 seconds.
Oh, yeah. I saw the light. The man upstairs was like, "Do you want to go?" And I'm like, "Not yet."
All right, Tony, what about Tommy Fury and Eddie Hall going to a decision?
I didn't get a chance to see it. I've only heard about it, but I expected Fury to at least do better than what I heard he did. I'm kind of shocked that he runs his mouth a lot about how him and his big brother, but didn't back it up.
Mm-hmm. Z, do you have anything on that?
Yeah, Tommy Fury is just a certain level fighter. I'm going to be honest. At a point in time, he went a kind of close decision with Jake Paul. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, to be honest, with Tommy Fury, that boasted his, I'm going to say the eyes on him up. But he hasn't, boxing-wise, did much with it. Mm-hmm. So, as I say, he's at a certain level.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Brady, Sean O'Malley, and Hyman Zahib.
Yeah, this was a nice one, man. I like Sugar, and I think he's got skill, and I think he could take that division, the champion spot in that division. But I think we saw here. I didn't really know too much about Zahibi, I'm sorry, I forgot his name. I think it's Zahibi. I didn't know too much about him, but I do know. I heard that his brother is a very good trainer, and you definitely saw that in the fight because it's kind of the preparation, not the preparation, but the style he kind of take Sugar, kind of I don't know, lure him in a bit, and you can definitely see like his defending was very like unorthodox. He was like kind of like a shell. Mm-hmm. I didn't really know how to explain it, but it was a different kind of way to come at Sean. But I think again we see just Sean. I think this fight he was patient, and just classic. In and out, weaving in and out, getting his jab off. And I think another thing that we really saw shine was his straight with his right, or his non-dominant hand is, or his dominant hand is. Everything was hitting for Sean, and that walk-off. He had another walk-off knockout. I think it's just classic. O'Malley is what he does, and I'd like to see him against. I think Jan is the champion of that division. I'd like to see him against Jan. I think he'd beat him.
Really?
So.
Okay. Let's go, Tony. Jamal Hill's moved up to heavyweight, and he's looking to fight Joshua. Is that a good thing, a bad thing? What's the story?
I hope he gets a good insurance policy. He's going to need it. Okay. Especially if it better cover broken jaws, too. So
yeah, that's for sure. What do you think, Z?
Yeah, there are different levels to this. I mean, it's good to come up, call people out, but then, if you're going to get paid that way, that's good, but physically, that's not really what he wants. There's levels to this. So.
So Jamal Hill, the UFC fighter.
Brady, he's down as being a UFC fighter because he asked for he wants Josh Hotskett.
Oh yeah, Hokit.
Yeah,
I would not want to fight Joshua if I was him, man.
No.
Nope. He would tear him apart.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, Brady. Oh, Josh Hokit and Derek Lewis.
Yeah, this one, I think this one kind of, is kind of mirrored to that Chandler fight. Although I think Hokit is a better prospect than Ruffy in that sense, but I think, if you watch Derek Lewis' last fight, he it looked like he gave up, and his conditioning, I think, is not there. I think he was just walking out there to get the paycheck, and he gets kicked around. He gets beat up bad. The last two fights I've seen, and I think they should have put a better opponent in front of Hokit, because he just looked levels above, Derek Lewis. Now, Derek Lewis in his prime, I think that would be an amazing fight, but it was another instance where Lewis just, took those shots to the head. And Hokit's a great striker, too. His combos are great. He's very limber, I think, for being a heavyweight. You saw him get a couple of those high kicks, spinning kicks off. And I think if we're thinking about his future in this division, the heavyweight division, I would really like it. I really like seeing an American heavyweight, especially, someone that's exciting and can throw all the strikes. And, I'm also, I think another thing that people are a bit hesitant on him is, his mic work and, kind of how he speaks, especially, at what he said at the White House.
Right.
I'm not going to go too deep into that, but I think it's good for the division to have someone like that, a young guy, up and coming, especially with his skill set. I was talking to Caden about this, at the miss tonight, and he was saying him and Aspinall would be, a great fight. And I would love to see that too, but man, that Cyril Gahn looked good too in that division. So I think heavyweight in the UFC is it's getting better, and it'll be completely in full flow currently, I think, when Aspinall comes back off injury, because then you got multiple contenders. You got what's his name, the Dominican, his name Acosta. That's another contender in the heavyweight division. I really like to see that, because I think these guys are the most dangerous in the world, period, in all fighting, I think, just because of their skill set. So, I would like to see Hokit flourish, especially, obviously after that great performance against Lewis.
Right. What do you think, Z?
Yeah. Derek Lewis that was a name. He had a name, and he sacrificed basically his brain because he had a name. Back to the guys who shouldn't be, maybe it's not best for you to keep fighting. Heavyweight division is getting more interesting right now, especially now that certain people are leaving. It's always going to create that void, and right now, you don't know. There's no dominant number one. I mean, Aspinall, he's number one, but is he the dominant number one? So that's yet to be seen, and we don't have that. So things like that make the game interesting.
Okay, let me ask you this, both of you. When do you think Aspinall will be back, or will he be back?
I'll let Z take out. I'm really not sure.
We'll be back when he heals. When he heals and his training right, gets everything right, he'll be back.
Okay.
And I think that's it's kind of an odd injury. It's not like a muscle or a bone injury. It's your eyes. I don't really know how those work, but I can't imagine it'd be quick and easy recovery.
Yeah, and I know he's having surgery. I'm pretty sure he's having surgery. Had surgery either.
Yeah. Okay, Tony, Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua.
I want to see it, and I really think Joshua is going to win that fight. I mean, it's going to depend on how Fury comes out, how much he's trained. But if he comes out trying to do his leaning method to weigh down Anthony Joshua, I'm sure Anthony Joshua is prepared and ready for that. So that's about the only way. If he stands up against Anthony Joshua to box, and I think Anthony Joshua is going to clean his clock.
Okay. What do you think, Z?
Activity. Right now, Anthony Joshua's activity isn't. They're both kind of, not inactive, but I think Anthony Joshua right now hasn't fought anybody. As far as their last fight, Tyson Fury fought a quality guy, or a heavyweight, quality heavyweight. Anthony Joshua has fought Ngannou and Jake Paul, his last two fights. That worries me a little bit. But he's supposed, they're both supposed to have tune-ups set up. I forget who the guy Joshua was fighting, but that's really they're trying to set it up. The problem with that is that Tyson Fury, he was at the White House and talking about Dana White as an announcement about him, a big announcement. So I don't know as far as what's going on promotion-wise for that fight to come off. I know that they do business, and I know they're capable of doing business. But right now, I don't know how this is going to play out with Eddie Hearn promoting one and Dana White, their announcements with it. So it's a little, nip and tuck right there as far as I'm concerned. Just from the fight coming off, period. But if they do fight, my prediction would be, right now, if they come in their best forms, which right now I don't think you have either one of them would be in their best form. I think Tyson Fury is a bit older and things are working like that on him. I think Anthony Joshua hasn't been active to the degree he needs to be to work on what he needs to work on. And I think that I would have to pick Tyson Fury for two reasons only. First reason, he's better at decision fighting. He's better at winning decisions. It's hard to pull rounds from Tyson Fury. It's even harder to pull rounds from Usyk. That's both of their problems. That was both problems when they both fought against Usyk. It's hard. He's the hardest guy in the sport almost to pull rounds from. Tyson Fury is a hard guy to pull rounds from. So Anthony Joshua was a guy who he could reel you in, but you can get rounds from him. Especially the fact that Anthony Joshua seems to always need a breather. Always need a breather in tough fights. And in the middle of round 5, he starts getting, his gas tank starts wearing out. Tyson Fury is a big guy whose gas tank never seems to wear out. And that matters. And also, the second thing is toughness. I think both guys are capable of being dropped. I think Tyson Fury's recoverability and his ability to keep his ball rolling, it would be better. I think he takes the better shot. Just because he doesn't give the better shot. No, sir. I think Anthony Joshua hits quite a bit harder than Tyson Fury. I think Tyson Fury takes the shot better than Anthony Joshua. So I would slightly give it to Tyson Fury. But if Anthony Joshua is in a better form, if Tyson Fury comes into the mental, training wise, is preparatory, then I can see him beating Tyson Fury. He's kind of pulling away by decision.
Well, you're the technical expert. Tell me, from a technique point, which is the better boxer?
Tyson Fury is. Tyson Fury is the better boxer in the terms of pugilism. Two gloves on you, 2 fists. Tyson Fury is, he has better fundamentals. He's better at ranges than Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua was pretty good on the outside. Anthony Joshua is a hard, big guy on the inside. Not necessarily an inside fighter, but he's a hard guy to deal with on the inside. Like inside fighters will have a problem dealing with him on the inside. But Tyson Fury is bigger than Anthony Joshua. So, and Tyson Fury can fight on the inside as well as on the outside. So, in the middle range, that middle range, Anthony Joshua is very. I think technically he's better than Tyson Fury. He could bring his hands back, do everything, but as far as pure boxing, Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury is better.
Okay. All right. By the way, so everybody will know, we had nominated Bernard Fernandez to the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame, and he entered and was accepted into the class of 2026 2 weeks ago. So I know he's listening because I talked to him just before we went on air, and we want to say how proud we are to be associated with a gentleman like himself, and with all the knowledge that he has and all the knowledge that Z has. It helps make this show really go well. So congratulations again to Bernard. By the way, Bernard has a 6th book out now. It's available on Amazon, and it's Total Champions series. So, all right, Brady, Bo Nickel, and Kyle Dawkins.
Oh, Bo Nickel, yes. I think this one ended by strikes from Nickel. I think on the ground.
Don't forget to take out your trash cans.
I think this one kind of showed. I don't know. I think Nickel has been a hyped prospect in the UFC. Obviously, he came from the NCAA. He was one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, collegiate wrestlers. And I think, Caden was kind of talking about this, how, guys like him and Tinsley kind of have like a slow, methodical kind of rise.
Mm-hmm.
These guys that are kind of being pushed by the UFC, like, in contrast to where, guys like Taporia or, Joshua Van, have a quick, they had big fights, fighting contenders and get to the title quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I think that these guys are, like Nickel, are more building up the fight. Small. I don't want to say smaller fights, but less, let's say, experienced opponents, maybe better opponents, as you can say. They're facing lesser opponents, and I don't know if it's for maybe the paycheck or protect themselves or just get some more experience in the UFC, but I'm not going to take away from Nickel's performance. I mean, he fought very well, and I think we saw another level to his game with his striking. But I think that there's better opponents out there for him, and I don't know. I think what I'm trying to get at is that he's a better fighter than Dawkins. He's been better. Like, we already knew he was better, I think, before the fight. I know you can't really say that, but I feel like, a lot of these guys are, just a different class of opponent. Dawkins is more like not even like a gatekeeper. He's like a lower level guy while Nickel's rising. So I think,
Okay.
He's a better opponent.
Tony, do we need to take a break so you can take the trash can out?
I got to get Alexa to even remind me to put my underwear on. So yeah, probably.
Now, after Z's last dissertation on Mr. Fury, since you're the keeper of the pie calendar, would you enter that in for July 25th is when they're supposed to be fighting?
I will mark that down, and there'll be some fresh stuff coming out of the oven.
Whoa. All right.
It won't be me.
Z, Bruce Carrington, and Rafael Espinoza.
Oh, Susan Carrington. They're supposed to fight, or they didn't fight yet. I didn't hear anything about that.
They've been set to fight on an undercard of Joshua and Pena.
Okay, yeah.
7:15.
Carrington's an up and coming. Yeah, he's an up and coming prospect. I saw him fight a few times. He looks pretty good. Against the competition he was fighting, he looks pretty good, pretty sharp. All around, pretty sharp. And a guy, I would like to see fight more. So I'm definitely going to be tuned in. Shoot some contact.
Okay. Tony, got anything on that?
No, you nailed that one.
Okie dokie. Brady. We got Diego Lopez and Steven Garcia.
Yeah, this was a good fight. I think this kicked it all off. I thought this fight should have been pushed up a little bit further later in the night because of the talent we had. But yeah, this one was fireworks, man. And I was really surprised to see Garcia go toe to toe with Lopez on the feet, especially because we all know Lopez is a knockout, flash knockout guy. He'll get you anytime, and he's got great hooks, and I think that his spacing is really good. And when you get on the inside with him, it's probably not going to turn out well for you, as we saw, in this fight. I think the finish was Garcia got clocked bad, and he tried to come back with some more firepower and unleash a couple of wild shots, and Lopez just finished him immediately. And I think it was kind of a showing for Lopez, like, yeah, I'm still here, I'm still good, I'm still a contender. After he had a couple losses, a couple title shots. But yeah, I think it was a good fight. I think that Lopez still has more to show. He's still young in this division, so yeah, I'll give my credit to Steve Garcia because he came in and put on a show as well.
Okay. Let's see, we go to Z. Joe Cardina and Abdul Han Mason.
Abdul Mason. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that one's coming up because I didn't hear anything about Abdul Mason. Yeah. Another guy is coming up. And these are guys in the lighter weights also. You're talking about maybe super featherweight, you're talking about junior lightweight. The guys in the lighter weight. But I like Abdul Mason. He's developing, but he's a guy that's exciting to see, and very skilled, offensively and defensively. And what I like also seeing is him and guys like Shushu developing. Even Keyshawn Davis, these younger guys coming up there, they are kind of counterpunchers too. They're opportunists. They're going to hit you any opportunity that if you give it to them. And I like guys like that. And I like guys who that's what the sport's about. They're going to work on their defense a bit. Everybody's going to get hit, but you try to control how you get hit, when you get hit, a lot of times. And you try to discontrol how that guy wants to get hit. You want to you try to always make it one way, no matter what that person does. So, and I like guys who are developing overall skills.
Okay, Brady. Conor McGregor is running his mouth off as usual, and one of the people he's tried to call out is Makhachev. What's your thoughts?
I think it's a bad idea, man. I don't think anybody should be calling out. I mean, first of all, Makhachev is fighting at 170 now. I think he fights Ian Gary for the title soon. I think that's one thing. I don't know if McGregor. I think McGregor's coming back to fight at 155 against Holloway. But I mean, we saw what happened against Khabib. And that was in McGregor's prime, and that was against the rest. These guys are the same kind of archetype. The Dagestani wrestler, but I think that Makhachev has some more levels to him with his striking. I wouldn't be calling out Makhachev. I don't think that fight will happen, first of all, but I think he's getting cleaned up by Makhachev pretty quickly. And that being said, too, I think Holloway is going to finish McGregor. If it's 5, I think it'll be a 5-round fight. I think he'll finish him within the first 3, honestly, because McGregor. I don't know. Obviously, I'm not there in his camp, but I can't imagine that his conditioning and his preparation is going to be as good as Holloway is, especially because, like he always says, it's all about the recency and your activity of your fights. And, obviously McGregor hasn't been doing that. So.
Okay. All right. Tony, here's a slam dunk for you. Mayweather and Pacquiao has been set back due to the fact that Mr. Mayweather took $4.5 million from an event coordinator for a fight that did come off. And then in Clark County, he is awaiting a trial on cashing a $200,000 check that bounced. What's your thoughts?
Does that shock anybody on the line right now? It definitely doesn't shock me.
No.
I mean, he's in trouble money-wise. I mean, we've been talking about that. And you throw your money away at strip clubs the way he did, you're going to run out eventually, and he did. And when you're living that lifestyle, you better know how to put money away and make it invest and everything else. And he didn't do that. And now trying to come back when you've aged like that, you can't do it. I mean, he needed Pacquiao to do something to try to draw some money. So he screwed up because that's about the only chance he's really going to have.
Z, what's your thoughts on this? I mean, I know that his business manager evidently stole $175 million or squandered $175 million, which he seems to have. Again, it's another legal thing. But what's your thoughts on this whole possibility?
I don't want to categorize anybody because everybody's situation is different, but this is often the sad story of boxing. No matter how much money you get, something seems to always happen to the champion's money for some reason. It's all, the boxing champ. It would be the UFC champ if they would pay him enough, to be honest. But it seems to be the champ. Always. So that's why I kind of have to give credit to certain. It depends who you're surrounded by. If you're surrounded by a business team, then you're going to get business done. Business tends to generate money. So you being that brand, that product, you probably want to surround yourself with an effective business team. But oftentimes, and especially in boxing, boxers govern with their heart. And that's often going to lead you to financial ruin. So that I'm not saying that's the case, but that's often the case too much. I'm not going to, I don't know, because he's like the material stuff that he's flashing and stuff, really, that's not anywhere near the bulk of his finances. That, especially the ones that he's lost. And I think that a lot of that may be bad investments, and more or less, you trusted the wrong people with a lot of money. And that, let's say, as often happens to the champ, and often is the financial ruin.
It's funny you bring that up because everybody knows Dave Jaco fought Jerry Clooney, and he beat him up in New York. His pot was $10,000 when he left the Madison Square Garden. He stopped at a few places to have some adult beverage. And when he finally got home to Sarasota 4 days later, he had, I think, less than $2,000 left in his pocket. So you're right. It does happen to the leaders. It does happen to people that are on that make big money and lose it one way or another. All right, Brady, here's another big question for you. Where does Ilia Topuria go now?
Right back to Gaethje. I think that because not even because of that. I think that the champion deserves a rematch, especially when you've been holding the belt that long in any circumstance. I think that the champion deserves a rematch. And honestly, I'm not even going to say that. I'm not even going to favor Gaethje again because Topuria is just so. I mean, I know he just did it, but I think the fact that Topuria's eyes were kind of an issue in this fight. Is going to change my decision a little bit, but yeah, I think he goes right back and they rematch whenever Topuria is healthy again.
Okay. Tony, Joshua, and Pena set for the 25th.
That's the guy.
Pena.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. I thought he had another. I thought it was a different guy who was fighting the 25th.
No, it is Pena. I forgot his name, but he set up and.
Yeah. Go ahead, Z. Z, take him to the woodshed. Go for it.
No. Because Pena is more of a tune-up fight, Tony.
Yeah.
So it's not even. It's more. Pena is not well known. It's just more of a setup, trying to get more acclimated to higher level fighters than Joshua's been fighting. So.
And you said Prenga, right?
Pena, yeah. Panga.
I thought he had a fight with Prenga, Prenga, the 25th.
I'm sorry, it is Prenga, yeah.
Okay, I was going to say, I didn't know. Yeah, it's a tune-up fight for Joshua.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to have a problem with that. If he has a problem with that, then I take back what I said on Fury. So, then it's going to happen.
Okay. Brady, Patty Pimbrett and Justin Cagey at 324.
Oh, that was announced. Okay, well, hold on. Patty Pimbrett Gaethje. That means that Topuria isn't getting a rematch. I think that fight Pimbrett got beat up real bad. That was against Gaethje, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know, man. I think after Gaethje's performance here, I could see, similar. I'm not going to say Patty even. It was a bad performance. It wasn't a bad performance, I'm saying, but I think Gaethje and Topuria are two dogs, and obviously they're at the top right now. And Pimber's trying to break in. I would need to see him, I think, go to the ground with Gaethje and not fight Gaethje's fight. I think that's where Topuria honestly kind of got lost a little bit. I think Gaethje is looking for the dog fight. He's looking for the scrap. He's looking for a brawl. And I think playing into that, really hurt Topuria. Obviously, it hurt Topuria, and I think it would hurt Pimblett even more. Actually, they did fight. I think that was for interim. Actually, that fight I think that was for the interim title.
Okay.
So yeah, we already saw that happen, and I think it would happen again, honestly, unless Patty fights his fight, takes him to the ground, tries to go for submission. Maybe get some strikes on the ground. I think standing up with Gaethje and feeling that power is not, wise.
Okay. Z, Jesse Bam Rodriguez and Mayan Inoue.
Yeah, I really hope they make that fight. That would be an exciting fight. And these guys, we already know what Inoue is. But, Bam Rodriguez is proven to be one of those guys, too, coming up. Looking good too. I would love to see that fight being made. If you don't mind, I have a question for you guys. There's another fight coming up. So they're actually probably signed about that. We're talking about Rolly Romero and Teofimo Lopez.
You said Rolly and who?
Rolly Romero and Teofimo Lopez.
Yeah. What do you look? You must have some kind of a psychic sense, because that's the very next thing we're going to talk about. Go for
it. Tony?
Well, on that one, Rolly might have a problem. Rolly's a good fighter, but he's never impressed me that much. I mean, he beat Ryan Garcia. I think Ryan Garcia personally had a bad night. That's just my opinion. But I don't know the Teofimo, even though Teofimo's been up and down, he might have a problem with him. I'm starting to think that I would be leaning a little bit on Tio on that one.
Ooh, okay. Z?
I'm going to kind of agree with Tony to a degree. Riley Romero is a good fighter who's not the most impressive with the look, but he makes what he does work for himself. And Teofimo Lopez was real. We already know what he is. He's a explosive, fast twister. The thing is this, and what scares me is Riley actually has the tools to beat Teofimo. And he showed me in the Ryan Garcia fight, he has the discipline. And there's one key to Teofimo Lopez. I mean, you have to be good, but what really hurts Teofimo Lopez's feet is in distance. If you're not right in front of Teofimo Lopez, he's not going to do what he needs to do. If you come at him, he's going to look good. If he can come at you and you aren't moving proper or at your right distance, then he's going to look good. But I watch guys who are, I'm not going to say lesser quality than Riley Romero, but guys who aren't, I don't want to say as good either. But like a guy like Cambosis, he did things to Teofimo Lopez that gave him trouble with the feet and his aggression. He was in and out with his feet. So he wasn't always where Teofimo wanted it. Riley Romero, I can see him just distance boxing Teofimo, taking his time and then grabbing it when they're on the inside. I mean, he can make the fight ugly and Teofimo get frustrated. That's what scares me. It's the only thing. But as far as I don't know if Riley is if he's disciplined enough, I almost want to pick him. I almost want to pick Riley if he's disciplined enough. I'm just not sure. I'm just not sure if that fast twitch or anything's going to mess with it. But then again, he held firm against Ryan Garcia. And Ryan Garcia is more, to me, I don't want to say more of an offensive threat. He is more of an offensive threat than Teofimo Lopez. So, you know what? I'm gonna switch up a bit, and I will slightly pick Riley at this point.
Okay. All right, Brady. Makachev and Ian Gary.
Yes, this one I'm excited for. Now, I think that, I don't know, I really haven't been watching too many Gary fights. I think in the past I have. So take this with a grain of salt because I'm sure, obviously he's been evolving. But I think, from what I've seen, he's a guy with the tools to be a champion. And I think, he's very balanced. Much like Makachev, he's also tall, and he's really long, too. So I think Makachev might have problems with his distance. But honestly, I'm a Makachev guy. I like Makachev. And I think that he is, how do I put this? He is more, if you guys understand, he's like more of a champion than Gary. I feel, obviously he's champion now, but like his mind, I don't know if his mindset, but he's like, obviously he's getting trained by Khabib, a great champion. And I think his mindset and kind of his, how he goes about things and, he trains in the mountains alone, not bothered by distraction. And I think that when you get a guy like this that has the talent, he's got the mindset, he's got the skill set. I don't know who's going to beat him. I can't imagine anybody beating him because, I think JDM put up a solid fight against him, but Makachev, you see JDM's a striker, and Makachev was, came up as kind of a ground guy, submissions and such, and he outclassed him on the feet. So I think that, JDM being one of the best strikers in that division, what more do you need to beat Makachev? How you beat Makachev? And I think Gary's going to have a tough time figuring that out. So if I had to say now, I'm definitely going with Makachev.
Okay. All right. Tony, Jose Valenzuela against Edward De Los Santos.
Not real sure on the first guy, but Del Santos is a good fighter. So if it's, I don't know the first guy too well, but if it's equal, if they put him up against somebody equal, it'd be a good fight. But Del Santos is good. He's a good fighter.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, since you didn't, I don't know, the peanut gallery isn't too sure about the fact that you were prepared there on that last one, so we have to give you another one. Tank Davis. Go ahead.
I thought you were going to do the Errol Spence one.
Oh, no. No, you don't get any of the easy thing. This is not Jeopardy. You don't get easy stuff.
Price is right.
Tank Davis against Bam Rodriguez.
If they made that happen, that would be a big moneymaker. I don't think I could go against Bam right now. The way he's on fire, I don't think I could go against him on that. I know Tank is a hard hitter and was knocking people out and everything, but he's been on the down low here for a while. Bam's been going up the ladder, and he's looking amazing. I don't think I could go with Tank Davis on that one if it happens.
Z?
Yeah, I think that might be talk. That different weight divisions is going to take a lot for Bam to make that weight, or Tank to lose that weight. But right now, Tank is Tank. He's they're talking about mandatories and everything. I'm not sure Tank if he's going to fight again. Right now, he's inactive to the point to where I mean, there's just talk right now, and nothing's set up officially, and it takes months, really to kind of get back, ready for this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure what's going on with Tank as far as fighting anybody.
Okay. All right, we got the last one.
Oh, sorry, I just want to ask. What is it because of all the legal stuff he's going through, or is it just that he can't get a fight on paper?
I think it's more the legal stuff, and I don't know what's going on with him promotionally, or they're trying to, whoever they're trying to fight, it might be even outpricing themselves, or they're just not getting what they want. I don't know what's going on.
Is he with Haney or is he with Zufu?
I think he's still with Haney.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Brady, John Jones says he's coming back. True, false, yes or no?
No.
Ooh.
That would be my one-word answer. I'll say I'm going to say no because I think we were talking a little bit about the heavyweight division. I'm not going to say he's scared of anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I think at the top, it's definitely different. I think if he saw that gone from the other night he fought Pereira, when he fought him, I think it'd be a lot different. But I'm gonna say no just because he hasn't yet. He's healthy. Why hasn't he come back yet? I think he would have come back by now. So yeah, I think that's
Okay. And the last one for the other side is Moses Atuma and Flip Horvick. Z?
Yeah, I'm not sure if they're signed. I know that it's supposed to be or signed, but
yeah,
that is going to be sort of a test for Atuma.
Mm-hmm.
Hrgovic is a big, rugged guy who has a pretty good jab, has pretty good boxing skills, and he's tough.
Mm-hmm.
He's a very tough guy. We're going to see what Atuma has as far as dealing with a big, rugged guy. I mean, he's dealt with bigger, rugged guys. Because Atuma's he's a big guy, but he's not the biggest heavyweight.
Mm-hmm.
Size or weight-wise. He's extremely athletic and sharp.
Mm-hmm.
Sharp. I mean, he has punching power, but I think that's more of his sharpness. The guy, he hits you on the button, what he needs to hit you with. With that said, if Hrgovic can survive early, he's a guy who does survive early and brings the fight back to you. if he can survive certain things early and not have it stopped, because I can see easily the tuna having him kind of out on the seat and him wobbling, so they have to stop it. I can see that. But if he can survive early, we could see some things that we've been asking to see from the tuna.
Okay. Well, guys, that brings us right up to our hour, and I appreciate everything that you guys done, all the preparation you've done. Every week I really appreciate it. Tony, you want to lead us out?
Yeah, great show, another fast one. Looking forward to a couple fights here in July. I think Errol Spence and Zoo are fighting, I believe. So that ought to be interesting to see what happens, and a couple other good ones. So just looking forward to some fun this summer.
Great. See?
Oh, another wonderful show. I want to thank Tony, my boxing partner. Thank Brady. She's holding it down on the MMA side. Thank you, Butch, holding it down, period. I want to thank all of my Fightnwords fans. These shows are definitely in memory of Bob, Coach Mel, and Dr. Chris. And if anyone wants to hear any fighting words, please do go.
Okay. Brady?
Yes, I'm very grateful to spend my Sunday night speaking with these very wise gentlemen. Thank you, Z, for the technical knowledge, and of course, Tony. You also do a great job. I think everybody does a great job. And Pop, of course, you keep us all together. So, yeah, very grateful. God bless you all, and have a good week.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, these programs are brought to you each and every night of the week in grateful appreciation to the men and women of the United States Armed Forces, the men and women of police and fire services, the doctors and nurses and first responders, as well as the people to keep those shelves stocked in the supermarket. These programs are dedicated to those who've lost their lives in the line of duty: Deputy Robert Anthony Carroll, Patrolman David Curtis, Patrolman Jeffrey Colcap, Patrolman Jeffrey Yazowitz, Sergeant Thomas Batinger, San Diego Officer Mike Hendler, Sergeant Tom Wilson, Charlotte County Sheriff's Department, Detective Randy Bell, Detective Ricky Childers, Patrolman Charlie Kahn at Tarpon Springs Police Department, Deputy Chief Mike Godwin, Philadelphia Fire Department, Lieutenant Joyce Craig Lewis, Philadelphia Fire Department, Sergeant James O'Connor, Philadelphia Police Department, Sergeant Chris Levake, Philadelphia Police Department, Lieutenant Mike Zerba, Newcastle County Police, Patrolman Anafo Crispin, Lakeland PD, Deputy Josh Meyer, Nassau County Sheriff's Department, Captain Matt Letourneau, Philadelphia Fire Department, Captain Chris Leach, Wilmington Fire Department, Lieutenant Ardith Hope, Wilmington Fire Department, Lieutenant Jerry Ficus, Wilmington Fire Department, Chief Jimmy Ford, Wilmington Fire Department, Chief Al Hogle, Longboat Gate Police Department, Deputy Mike Hargrove, Pinellas County Sheriff's Department, Trooper Chelsea Richards, Florida Highway Patrol, Trooper Joe Bullock, Florida Highway Patrol, Trooper Zachary Ben, Florida Highway Patrol, Sergeant Chris Fitzgerald, Philadelphia Police Department, Sergeant Romain Mendez, Philadelphia Police Department, Chief Corey Compantier, Buffalo Creek Fire Department, Deputy Ronnie Ronazinski, Manatee County Sheriff's Department, Patrolman Zachary Butterfield, Braden PD, and Corporal Timothy O'Connor, Pennsylvania State Police. My brothers and sisters, although you may be 10-7 at this point in time, at some time we'll be 10-10 at the table of the Lord. Till that time, may the roads be right up to beat you. May the winds be always at your back. May the rains fall softly on your fields and the sun shine lightly on your face. Until we meet again, may the good Lord keep you and your family always in the palm of his hands. Good night, God bless, and have a great week.